What's going on, everyone? Today we are taking a look at a new portable power station. This is the Bluetti AC70. Taking a look at the specs, this has a 768 watt hour LiFePO4 battery, a 1000 watt power handling, a 500 watt solar charging input, a 5-year warranty, and is very lightweight at only 22.5 pounds. So taking a look at the power station itself, this is definitely a simple but nice looking power station. I like the all gray theme. A lot of these power stations try to go a little crazy with these wild colors, but I prefer something neutral like this. The outside shell is made of plastic, but it does feel very heavy duty, so I don't suspect you have any issues if you accidentally bump into this or hit it on something. As I said earlier, this does have a LiFePO4 battery, and this is rated to maintain a 80% capacity after 3,000 plus charges. That doesn't mean it's going to stop working after 3,000 charges. It's just going to have that lower 80% capacity. All in all, this is going to give you about 10 to 15 years of usage. So this is definitely going to last you a very long time. So taking a look at your ports, right up here you have your DC/PV input. And as you can see, this is an XT60 connector. Right down here, you have a DC output, and this can do a maximum of 12 volts, 10 amps. Coming to the middle, you have your USB ports, and this has two 100 watt USB-C ports, and then you also have two 12 watt USB-A ports. Right over here, you have your two AC outlets, and these can do 120 volts and a maximum of 1000 watts. And then coming to the side, this is where you have your AC charging input. You do not need a charging brick, as this charges directly from this regular 3-prong cable. And this also has a fuse by the port as well. Coming to the center, you have a nice color screen, and this does have a good brightness and contrast as well. So if you're outdoors, you're not going to have any issues reading this. One thing I really like about the screen is it shows you your wattages for everything, where some of them just show you a combined output. So right here, you can see your DC input and your AC input. And then over here, you have your DC output and AC output as well. So everything that's going on with the power station, you'll be able to see your wattages right there on the screen. Then right here in the middle, you have this gauge that shows you the battery life, but you also have a percentage readout right here. And then at the bottom, it tells you how much life you have left in the battery. And this will be instantly calculated based on the wattages that are being pulled from the power station. All right, so as I said earlier, this has a 1000 watt inverter. I'm not going to bother testing this with cell phones, cameras, laptops, or anything small like that, because I know this can definitely handle that. It can probably charge 20 phones, 30 phones and still be okay. But I'm going to go ahead and take this all around my house and plug it into different things so we can see what it can or can't do. All right, so first off, one of the things this is going to be good for is home backup, or maybe you just want to switch some of your appliances to an off-grid setup. So right here I have my full-size fridge plugged in. As you can see, right now it's pulling a little over 100 watts, but the thing is with fridges, they cycle up and down as they go through their cooling cycles. So I'm going to go ahead and let this run for an hour or two, and we'll see how this does. All right, so it's been a little over 2 hours, actually 2 hours and 1 minute. And as you can see, we're down to 67%. So definitely running that fridge, no problem at all. At peak wattage, it drew somewhere around 300 to 400 watts. And then when it wasn't cooling, it idled down to about 3 watts. So it varies depending on what the fridge is doing. But as you can see, it definitely has more than enough power to run a full-size fridge, which is very impressive, especially considering how small and light this unit is. This has been running for 2 hours and 2 minutes, and we're down to 66%. So depending on your fridge, this should be able to run it anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. If you do need more than 6 to 8 hours, or you plan to hook up more appliances or items to this power station as well, this is also very expandable. Still, they have the B80 battery, which more than doubles your capacity to 1,574 watt hours. If you need even more than this, they have the B230, which adds 2,048 watt hours. And then they have the largest expansion battery, which adds 3,072 watt hours. So definitely a lot of flexibility there to get you as much power as you need. One thing I like to do a lot is ride my e-bikes or electric scooters. So if you're out camping or going on any outdoor adventure, this is also going to work great for that as well. As you can see, I'm charging both an electric scooter and an e-bike at the same time. Coming down here to the screen, they're both only drawing 345 watts. So this is able to charge both of them no problem at all. If you have an e-bike or scooter with a much larger battery, you have two different options you can do here. One, like I said earlier, you can get an expansion battery to add more capacity to the power station. Or two, you can also add a solar panel to this as well. So while you're charging the e-bike, it'll also be charging your power station from the sun. As I said earlier, this has 500 watts of solar charging, which can charge this power station from 0 to full in only 2 hours. One of the e-bikes I use most has a 14 amp hour battery, which converts to a little over 600 watt hours. This has more than that, so you can actually get a 0 to 100 charge just from this power station. And as I said earlier, it's a very small and portable power station, so you can easily pick this up and throw this in your vehicle and barely even notice it's there. So let's go ahead and see how this does in an office setup. So I have all of this here. That's all connected to a power strip over there, and that all runs just this one cable here. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug that into the power station, and we'll see how many watts this draws and if it can handle the load. All right, so I got everything turned on, and right now it's all being powered off the power station. Just to point out everything that it's running a gaming PC right up here, this monitor, these two speakers, the light behind the screen, these LED lights here on the ceiling. And then right down here, I have another PC that I also turned on. And then under the desk, I have a subwoofer, a router, and my Eero modem as well. So a lot of things going on here. Let's go ahead and check out how many watts this is pulling. Surprisingly, all of those items are only pulling about 300 watts. If you're running the PC playing a game, that's going to raise the watts up some. Probably going to put it at about 600 watts. But as you can see, it can handle it no problem. It's pretty much a walk in the park for this power station. And right down here, it shows going to run everything for about an hour and a half. It's at 50%, so it's going to be able to run this entire room for a little over 3 hours. So again, definitely impressive for a small unit this size. One thing I forgot to mention is this also has a UPS function as well. So if you're not using this power station, I'll recommend just leaving it in a room like I have it now. Hook your computer up to it and then hook the power station up to your outlet. And what this will do is pass power through the power station, keep it charged, and once it's charged, it'll pass the power directly to your computer. And if you have power outage, it'll detect it and very quickly switch from your grid power and put out power from the power station, which will leave your computer uninterrupted. You won't even notice you had a power outage. Like I said, this is running my entire room right here, and it's gonna run it for a little over 4 hours. And this is with 2 computers and all of that stuff. So with just 1 computer and a monitor, I'm sure this could probably run that for maybe 6 to 8 hours, no problem. If you do use this for home backup or its UPS function, it does have a very quick 950 watts of AC charging input, and this can quickly charge it from 0 to 80% in only 45 minutes. So if you have to drain it all the way down, that won't be a problem, as you can quickly recharge it as well. Another feature I really like on this is what they call powerlifting mode. So right here, I have an electric heater, and this draws about 1400 watts. So normally this power station would not be able to keep up and it'll shut off. But thanks to this feature, it actually scales down the power it sends to the heater and runs it at a lower 1000 watts. And this works with appliances up to 2000 watts. So if you have a heater like this, or maybe an electric griddle, a hair dryer, or any other appliances that aren't voltage sensitive, this will be able to run them. So definitely a really cool feature to have, as it lets you go beyond what a normal 1000 watt power station can do. So let's go ahead and try this out. All right, so let's go ahead and switch this on. Let me put it on the highest mode. Come over here, and as you can see, it's only pulling about 900 watts. Normally this will be about 1400 watts, so this lowers the power, and it's even lowering even lower now to 700 watts. So it can not only run it, but run it at a much longer time as well. All right, so this power station also has app connectivity as well, and this is definitely one of the better apps I've seen with a power station. This can be connected through both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so you can check on the status and the battery level of this power station from anywhere, including the other side of the world. And then if you happen to be somewhere where you don't have Wi-Fi connectivity, that's where you can connect directly to the power station through Bluetooth. So taking a look at the app, similar to the screen on the power station, you have your inputs and your outputs. So right here, you got your grid input, then you got your PV or solar input, outputs down here. Simple toggles, turn on and off your AC and DC. You got a status for your battery pack. So if you have more than one battery connected to this, as they do have expansion batteries, that'll show up right here. And then coming into settings, you can also change your charging mode. So they have standard, turbo, and silent. So if you want a silent charge, you go ahead and put it on silent. And then if you want it to charge really fast, you can put it on turbo. To maintain the best battery life with the power station, I would recommend standard, as that's a little easier on the battery. Then you have Powerlifting, which I'll go over shortly, auto sleep, and then you have eco mode where you can schedule it, turn on or off. So you can see you have eco mode for both AC and DC, and you could set this from anywhere to shut off from 1 hour all the way to 4 hours. This way you don't got to be in front of the power station and it'll automatically shut off by itself. So overall, definitely a good app that's simple and very easy to use. All right, so I drained this power station from 100% to 0 and it put out a total of 685 watt hours. Doing the math, that gives this unit a usable capacity of 89%. Most power stations of this size put out about 80 to 85% on average. So this is definitely much better than most units out there. As you can see, I had it running a little under 1,100 watts and it ran that no problem at all from the full 100% to 0. So not only can it do the rated inverter power, but it can also handle a little more on top of that as well. I know a lot of people get nervous when it comes to storing large batteries like this in their house, but rest assured you don't have anything to worry about, as this does have an advanced BMS. This continuously monitors and protects the power station from overvoltage, short circuits, temperatures, and many other things as well. Besides this, you also get a very good 5-year warranty to keep you covered in case you do have any problems. Overall, this is definitely a great power station. Not only is it affordable, but it also has some of the best specifications in this price range as well. So overall, if you happen to be shopping for a mid-size power station, I would highly recommend this one here, which again is the Bluetti AC70. If you would like more information on this power station, I also put a link to it in the description as well. All right, well, that about wraps up this video. As usual, if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop me a comment and let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.